Good afternoon, my dear students. I hope all of you are fine. If you are not, please take care of yourself. If you are, then also please take care of yourself, because in either cases, you need to be fit and fine so that we can continue meeting over these online classes. And very soon, if God wills, we are going to meet offline also. My dear students, please take care of your studies now, as your examination is approaching, and we are also approaching to over the more than half of our syllabus. So please be more serious and more concentrative to all these things, so that my dear students, you all can excel in your result and you can get a better future, brighter future, and a successful future. So let's start today with another sum of dissolution of partnership, and we'll continue with a complete sum. Few of the complete sum I'll be taking. After that, I will be taking only the journal entries, so that we get the both complete information. Although as I'm explaining this, I will be talking about the journal entries also, and it will be very good if you note it down. Okay, that will be very good to the journal entries as well as the ledger. I will be telling the journal entries also as we are doing, so it will be going simultaneously. Okay, please make the note for both. So let's start. Here is the question. What is given is that following was the balance sheet of D, G, and T as at 28 to 2002. That means last day of February 2002. So what is the information given is that in the liability side we have got creditor, bills payable, G's loan account, that is partner's loan, R's loan account. R is no one here, right? So R is an outsider, right? So outsider's loan. Outsider's loan will be paid through realization account. The other day also I told partner's loan is paid through partner's loan, and any other loan will be paid through realization account. So R's loan will be going in the realization account, whereas G's loan, who is a partner, will be going to the loan account of G. Then worksman compensation reserve was 20,000, capital was 1 lakh and 1,50,000. Regarding worksman compensation reserve, remember that if there is claim, okay, if there is claim, then that to that extent you have to transfer to the realization account and you have to pay it. But if there is no claim, the whole amount of workman compensation reserve will be going to the partner's capital account in the credit side, as we have done earlier. Remember that. Now coming to the asset side, we have got bank, debtors, stock, furniture, land and building, and G's capital. So one of the capital is lying in the asset side. That means it is a loss. Partner G is running in loss. So this G's capital will be showing as the opening balance. In the opening balance also it will appear in the debit side of the capital account, because it is in the asset side, which is indicating that the capital is loss minus negative balance. Okay, it is a negative balance. Now coming to the next adjustment, what is given here? The firm was dissolved on the above date, on the above and on the following terms were there. I have already told in the previous class also that while studying, you just lightly study the adjustment and find out if there is something really exceptional. If there is not, then you immediately start with transferring of the assets and liabilities to the realization account. So we'll just see lightly what is the realization. Debtors realized, creditors and bills payable were paid, stock was taken over, furniture was there, land and building was sold, R's loan was there, paid by the check. Then there was unrecorded asset. The firm has a joint life policy. These all things we can go after the transfer also. So no problem, nothing is there. So we will start with what is given, realization account, and then we'll go for the capital bank account, and the capital account is there. But first of all, what you have to do, you have to transfer to realization account, then we'll prepare the partner's loan, and then we'll prepare capital, and at last we'll prepare the bank account. Doesn't matter whether the bank account is given in the second position, you have to prepare bank account at last. Clear? So let's start. First of all, we'll transfer all the assets, and the journal entry for transferring the assets other than bank, other than capital, okay, from this particular sum. So what will you transfer? It will be debtors, stock, furniture, and land and building. The journal entry is like this. Realization account will be debited to debtors 30,000, stock 20,000, furniture 15,000, land and building 2,45,000, all the book values. Okay, so realization account debit to all the assets. So it will be coming as realization account debit to the assets, to debtors 30,000, to stock 20,000, to furniture 15,000, to land and building 2,25,000. Clear? Now we'll go to the liability side and we'll transfer the liabilities. In the liability sides, we have creditors 50,000, bills payable of 10,000, R's loan. G's loan we cannot take, right? He is a partner. G is a partner, so we'll not take. We can take R's loan of 12,000. And there is nothing else. So we saw in the adjustment that there was no claim of workman compensation. So workman compensation reserve will go to the partner's account. Okay. So what will be the entry for transferring it? Creditors account will be debit. Bills payable account will be debit. Arts loan account will be debit. Okay, obviously 50,000, 10,000, 12,000 to realization account. So realization account credit side by creditors 50,000, by bills payable account 10,000, by arts account arts loan account 12,000. Clear? Transferred. सारे एसेट सारे लायबिलिटी ट्रांसफर हो गए. अब हम लोग एडजस्टमेंट में जाएंगे. Now we'll see what is in the adjustment. The firm was dissolved on the above date on the following terms. Okay. So first thing, debtors realized 28,000. We have got the money from debtors 28,000. Don't be in a hurry. Okay. We'll see how much is the total amount of assets realized and we will give the total asset realized at a time. Okay. जितना भी हम लोग को बेचकर मिलेगा सब एक साथ देंगे asset का. Okay. And creditors and bills payable were paid at a discount of 10%. So once we got the debtors, we'll just find out and if there is any other asset which has been sold. Stock was taken over by T, so we'll give it later. Stock को T ने लेके चला गया. Furniture was sold to N. N कौन था? Partner था? नहीं, outsider. क्योंकि partner D, G and T है. So we have sold to N. Let it be N or let it be Z, doesn't matter. Okay, कोई भी हो. We have sold. So how much we have sold at? 12,000. So 12,000 also we'll get from furniture. So debtor we got 28,000. Okay, what we are doing, we are finding out what are the money we have got by selling the asset. So debtor we got 28,000. Stock was taken over by T, so we are not going to get money. We'll adjust in the capital. Furniture we have got 12,000. Land and building was sold at 2,80,000. Okay. And after that, arts loan was paid. Okay, there's fine. Asset, we are finding out about asset. Okay, there was an unrecorded asset of 20,000 which was sold for 14,000. This 14,000 also we got. So what are the things we got? 28,000 of debtors, 12,000 of furniture, 2,80,000 of land and building, and 14,000 of unrecorded asset. Right? Joint life policy will show separately. So what will be the journal entry for selling the asset? Bank account debit to realization account, isn't it? We have here bank account, so all the entry will be shown in the bank. So bank account debit to realization account. So realization credit side by bank account. How much? Debtor 28,000, furniture 12,000, land and building 2,80,000, and unrecorded of 14,000. Here they are putting the unrecorded asset later on. You can put it along with this 3 items. That will be no problem. Okay. Or if you want to put it separately, you can put all the items also separately. There will be no problem. So debtor 28,000, furniture 12,000, land and building 2,80,000, and unrecorded asset of 14,000. The total comes to 3,20,000, and the 14,000 has been kept separately. Right? If you want to add it, it will be 3,34,000. Okay, 3,34,000. Clear? Now moving to the next item. What is there? Creditors and bills payable were paid at a discount of 10%. Once the asset is paid, now we'll go for the once the asset has been sold, then we'll go for paying the liabilities. So creditors and bills payable were paid at a discount of 10%. That means discount of 10% means creditor को कितना देंगे और bills payable कितना होगा. Let's see. So what is the journal entry? Let's find out the journal entry. The journal entry will be like this. Realization we are going to pay, so it will be loss. Realization account debit to bank account. How much creditor and how much bills payable we'll find out. So we can just see from here, creditors and bills payable were paid at a discount of 10%. So creditors were 50,000. So 10% less means it will be at 45,000, and bills payable was 10,000. 10% less means at 9,000. So the total is 54,000, isn't it? So the journal entry will be like this. Realization account debit to bank account. How much? Creditors 45,000. That is 50,000 minus 10%. Bills payable 9,000. That is 10,000 minus 10%. Okay. As well as there is no information. There is an information that R's loan was paid by check. So R also we can take at the same time. R's loan was paid by check. So arts loan account also. What was the amount? 12,000. Once again, I'm repeating. The journal entry will be like this. Realization account debit to realization account debit to bank. What will be the amount? Creditors 50,000 minus 10%, bills payable 10,000 minus 10%, and arts loan 12,000. There was no change, so it will be paid at 12,000. The total is 66,000. Okay, clear? Then the first point is over. The second point, now stock was taken over by T at 15,000. So T is a partner. You can see here T is a partner. So if partner is taking the stock, if outsiders are taking, we'll take it as sold. Like in case of N we have done, right? In case of N, जैसे हम लोगों ने किया. But in case of partner, it is adjusted with a capital account. So what is the journal entry? T is capital account debit, right? T is capital account debit to realization account. हम लोग को प्रॉफिट होगा, लेके जाएगा तो कैपिटल, हम लोग कैपिटल का पैसा कम देंगे ना. सो टी इज कैपिटल अकाउंट डेबिट टू रियलाइजेशन अकाउंट. सो रियलाइजेशन क्रेडिट साइड यू कैन सी बाय टी इज कैपिटल अकाउंट स्टॉक टेकन ओवर 15,000. Okay, then there is an option for reducing the speed in the YouTube also. You can use that feature also to reduce the speed. Don't increase the speed and just simply listen it. In fact, try to reduce the speed and try to understand it properly. Or you can even pause and you can repeatedly listen to it. Once you download, it will be better because it will not consume your net. You can easily listen to the videos. Then coming to the next point, land and building was sold, that is over. Arts loan was paid by check, that is over. That is the same amount, right? That is over. Clear? Up to here, that is up to point number 4, that is arts loan was paid by check for the same amount. Up to here we have finished. Now coming to the next one, point number 5, unrecorded asset. That also we have done. If you want to do it separately, it will be coming obviously with the same journal entry. Bank account debit to realization account. So realization account credit side by bank account, unrecorded asset 14,000. And if you want to do jointly as we have done in the earlier case, then that is okay. Nothing to do in that. That is okay. Then coming to the 6th point, the firm has a joint life policy of 55 lakh. What is the meaning of joint life policy? Try to understand. Joint life policy का मतलब होता है कि तुमने अपने पार्टनर्स के साथ, बिजनेस के जो पार्टनर है उनके साथ मिलकर jointly you have taken a life insurance policy for the partners. Okay, jointly from the firm side, the policy has been taken on the on life of all the partners. So if any of the partner dies, all the partners will get the amount of money. Or if they are going to close the business also, then also they can end up the policy. But remember that without death of any of the partner, try to understand, without the death of any of the partner or before the maturity, policy mature होता है ना, उसको maturity date बोलते हैं. So before the maturity, if you break the policy or before dying of any of the partner, if you take back the policy, take back means उसको cancel कर दोगे अगर policy को, तो उसको बोलते हैं policy को surrender करना. That is called surrendering the policy. If you cancel the policy before the time or without any partner being dead, if you are leaving the policy, that means if any partner dies, that means obviously you are going to get the policy money, so nothing to cancel there. And if it is matured also, you'll get the money. But before that, if you do it, if you cancel it, then that amount of the procedure will be called surrendering the policy, and the amount of money which you will get out of the whatever premium amount you have given. इंश्योरेंस करने से तो पॉलिसी का प्रीमियम देना पड़ता है ना, जो भी प्रीमियम दिए हो तुम, whatever premium you have paid, the amount of money that you are going to get from that will be taken as, okay, whatever amount of money you are going to get will be taken as, what it will be taken as? Surrendered value. Okay, surrendered value, which is generally very, very less than the original amount of premium we have paid or whatever the amount of policy it is. So you can see here that the firm has taken a joint life policy of 5 lakh with a surrender value of 86,000. Today, if they cancel it, they are going to get only 86,000 rupees. And the policy was surrendered at its surrendered value, and they have cancelled the policy. That means surrendered means they have cancelled the policy. So how much they will get? They will get only 86,000. So what will be the journal entry? The journal entry will be like this. How much they will get? 86,000. So it will be bank account debit to realization account 86,000. So you can see that by bank account realization credit side it is 86,000. Okay, clear? I hope all of you have understood up to here. Fine. Now let's see if there is any other liability to be paid. Creditors paid, bills payable paid, arts loan paid. There's no other liability, no unrecorded liability. Please make sure that you check whether there is any unrecorded liability or any liability which has not been paid. If there is no information, make the payment. If there is no information, make the payment. But in case of asset, if there is no information, then assume that there is no value realized from that. Okay, there is no value realized from that. You don't require to give any entry for that. Now let's do the balancing. All the entries are over, so we'll do the balancing. The credit side total is 5,07,000, and we can see which is the higher side. So we'll take this higher total on both the sides and deduct the debit side total, and we can see there is a profit of 1,31,000. This is nothing but the realization profit. The credit side is more, so it is a realization profit. You know how to do the balancing, right? So the profit is 1,31,000. This 1,31,000 is the realization profit, which will be distributed between D, G, and T. Since their profit sharing ratio was not told, it will be equally. You can see that in the first only it's not told. The profit sharing ratio is not mentioned, so it will be equally. The profit share, the profit on realization will be transferred equally. That means 43,667. All the three partners will get. How it came? It is nothing but three partners. So 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3. 1 by 3 of what? 1,31,000. I hope all of you understood. Realization account is clear. Now we will go for next one. What is the next one? We will go for partners loan account. So we'll just prepare a small loan account. Who was the partner with the loan? G, right? G, kitna? 8,000. So we'll prepare G's loan account, and how much is the balance? 8,000. So it will be G's loan account will prepare, debit credit will give, by balance brought down 8,000 will give the opening balance. And since it is not told how to pay G's loan account, so it will be paid from the loan account itself. The journal entry is like this. Remember, there is no journal entry for the opening balance, and for transferring, the journal entry will be like this: G's loan account debit to bank account. So G's loan account debit side will write down to bank 8,000. Clear? Now we will go for capital. So as we start the capital, remember D and T is having 1 lakh and 1,50,000 in the credit, and G is having 20,000 in the debit. So we'll prepare the capital account and we'll give the opening balance first. Capital account is ready. Debit, credit. You have to make 3 columns in the debit side, 3 columns in the credit side, 3 amount column, right? DGT, DGT. Clear? So how will you start? We'll start with the opening balance. So by balance brought down, D we are having 1 lakh, T we are having 1,50,000. Okay, D 1 lakh, T 1,50,000. Whereas G was having debit balance. So G's debit side will come as to balance brought down 20,000. Why? I already told you, because it is a loss for the firm, sorry, loss for the partner, which he is going to bear now. How will you bear? By keeping in the debit side. Okay, by keeping in the debit side. Now coming to the next one. Let's find out what is there in the balance sheet that will come in the capital. In the liability side, we have got workman compensation reserve. In the asset side, we don't have anything. So workman compensation reserve of 20,000 will be coming equally in the account of D, G, and T. How? In the ratio 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3. That is 1:1:1. So by workman compensation reserve, 20,000 1 by 3 is 6,667, 6,667, 6,666. In case of D, G, and T. Why we are putting it at last 6? Because to match up the total. Otherwise, if we put 7 here, it will be, again, the total will be 1 rupees more. That is why. Clear? You can put 666 in case of D also, or G also, doesn't matter. The total should come to 20,000. Now, coming to the next one. Is there any more item in the balance sheet? No. Now we'll see the adjustment. If there is anything specifically for capital, only the stock was taken over by T, that will get from realization. No other thing are there. So we'll go to the realization account. In the realization account, we'll find out where is capital mentioned. In the debit side, let's check. Yes, in the debit side, we have got, what is that? The profit on realization. So it will come in the credit side, crossing. I told you in the other day also, crossing. It will be coming the crossing side, because the journal entry is like this: realization account debit to partners capital account. Profit on realization, how will you transfer? Realization account debit to partners capital account. So partners capital credit side by realization account, the profit 43,667 in all the cases, except in case of T, to adjust the 1 rupee. Okay. So after that, we'll go to the credit side and we'll see if there is any partner related item. Yes, there is one partner related item, that is T's capital account, stock taken over 15,000. So we already told we have already seen the journal entry, that is T's capital account debit to realization account, isn't it? T's capital account debit to realization account. So realization account के debit side में to T's capital account, see, sorry, capital account के debit side में to realization account, that is stock taken over how much, 15,000 in the T's account. Okay, to realization account, stock taken over 15,000 in case of T. Okay, to stock taken over, sorry, to realization account bracket में लिख दो stock taken over 15,000 in case of T. Now no, there are no other items, so we will go for direct balancing. There are no other items, so we'll do the balancing of both the sides. How will you balance it? One by one. In case of D, see the total of debit credit side. Credit side it is 1,50,334, and there is nothing in the debit side. So total of 1,50,334 will be paid to D, to bank account. Okay, it will be paid like to bank account. Clear? To bank account. And in case of G, what is happening? The total in the credit side is 50,334, whereas in the debit side we have 20,000. So from 50,334, okay, 50,334 we will deduct the loss of 20,000, and after deducting the loss of 20,000, the remaining balance, that is 30,334, will be paid to bank. So bank it will be paid to bank account 30,334. Then coming to T, in case of T, the balance in the credit side is 2,32,000. Sorry, 2,332. 2,332. So in the debit side, it is only 15,000. So from 2,332, we'll deduct 15,000 rupees. The balance is 1,85,332, which will be paid by T. Okay, which will be paid to T. Sorry, which will be paid to T. How it will be paid? The journal entry will be like this: D's capital account debit 1,50,334. G's capital account debit, we are paying, so we are closing it by debiting. Okay, so 30,334. T's capital account debit 1,85,332 to bank account. Okay, to bank account, the total. Right now, what we will do, and finally we'll start with the bank. So for that also we need the opening balance of bank. So where will we get it? It is in the balance sheet. So we can see the bank balance, it is 20,000. So what we'll do is that we'll prepare the bank account and we'll start with that to balance brought down 20,000 in the debit side. And after that, one by one, all the items will place it here. So either debit side or credit side, depending on that, we'll put. So let's start from realization account. Wherever the bank will be there, it will be going in the crossing. So first we'll start from the debit side. So in the debit side of the realization account, okay, debit side of the realization account, we can see there is a bank. To bank, how much? 66,000. So it will come in the bank as by realization, because the journal entry was, what is the journal entry? If you have written, you can see the journal entry is like this: realization account debit to bank. So bank credit side mein by realization account 66,000. So bank credit side by realization account liabilities paid 66,000. Then now there is no other thing in the debit side. We'll go in the credit side. In the credit side we have got by bank. That means the journal entry was what? Bank account debit to realization. So bank के debit side में लिखो to realization account 3,20,000. You can just mention bank के debit side में to realization asset sold 3,20,000. And unrecorded asset was separate, so it is again by bank was there, that is 14,000. So the journal entry was like this: realization account debit, sorry, bank account debit 14,000 to realization account 14,000. So it will come in the bank debit side to realization account 14,000 unrecorded asset. Then coming to the next one, joint life policy, which of 86,000 we have got. So the journal entry was like this: bank account debit to realization account 86,000. So that is why it is coming in the bank debit side. Bank account debit to realization account joint life policy 86,000. Clear? Now we will go to the next one. We realization account is over, so we'll go to G's loan account. In case of G's loan, we can see that there is only a payment of 8,000. That is a G's loan has been paid. And how it is paid? Through bank. So journal entry is like this: G's loan account debit to bank account. So bank account credit side में आएगा by G's loan account. By G's loan account. You can see here by G's loan account 8,000. Okay. Then coming to the next one, capital account. We'll go to the capital account now. Okay, so what is in the capital? First of all, let's see in the credit side, nothing is there. In the debit side, we have got, yes, bank is there. How much? 1,50,334 in case of D, 30,334 in case of G, and 1,85,332 in case of T. So the journal entry, okay, in case of T it is little less, no problem. The last amount is, we have adjusted, that is why it is 32. So what is the journal entry? The journal entry is like this: D's capital account debit, G's capital account debit, T's capital account debit to bank. So bank के credit side में by D's capital account, 1,50,334, by G's capital account 30,334, by T's capital account 1,85,332. Clear? And here what you have to do, you have to find out that the debit side total is equal to the credit side. Agar nahi, then it is wrong, and if it is correct, then you can say arithmetically your sum is correct. So here, making the total, we can see the total of both the sides of bank account, it is showing 4,40,000, 4,40,000. So the bank account is matching. So that is, your sum is assumed to be arithmetically correct. Okay, arithmetically your sum is correct. So this is a proof that your sum is going in the right direction, right? So I hope all of you have understood this sum and enjoyed this sum properly. Please give a good look on your book also and try to solve the sums from there. Go for illustrations first, then you can go for the exercise. Whatever doubt and confusion you have, you're free to clarify. Okay, you are free to call me and clarify, right? Okay, then I will take I'll bid goodbye to all of you now, as we are going to meet with the next video very soon. Okay, so please give your attendance and make sure that you are watching all the videos. Again, I'm saying about the watching of videos, so that is very, very important. Please take care of yourself and take care of your studies, I'm saying, because of the reason that it is not very not very late that we are going to start the exam. So also your pre-board also will start very soon. So please take care of yourself and your studies. Till then, take care. Bye bye.